Hi! If you've been keeping up with today's news, I'm sure you've seen many headlines about the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. To sum up the general story behind those headlines, ransomware actors launched a cyber attack on Colonial Pipeline's billing system, which led Colonial to then temporarily shut down their pipeline. This caused panic within the country, as this major pipeline being closed led to a lack of gasoline in the United States. Although these ransomware actors were only looking for money, they still impacted the physical operation of the pipeline. This incident was an eye-opener, not only to people whose gas stations then had gas shortages, but any business may take a look at this incident and think, wow, what if this were my company who got hacked? The COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on the economy of this nation. The new lack of employment due to the pandemic has led more people looking for ways to make money from their computer, which may include hacking and ransomware. At the same time, the pandemic has brought most of our daily business life online. With the increased amount of company interactions taking place online, hackers now have more employees working online who they can try and manipulate. VP of Operations at PSI, Rightley McConnell, is here to give you some tips on how to protect yourself from bad actors, such as hackers and those involved in ransomware. The first step in protecting yourself is by understanding who exactly are these bad actors.
Bad actors have a variety of motivations, but generally they can be grouped into three main categories. First are cyber terrorists, which are politically or ideologically motivated to cause some sort of damage to your business, whether it be because they see themselves as activists, or they may even be sponsored by a state actor, or maybe to a lesser degree, somebody that just doesn't know exactly what they're doing, but they're just out trying to cause havoc. Then there are cyber criminals, and they're generally trying to extract money from your business. These companies are the ones that, or these groups are the ones that you'll generally see creating ransomware and holding people's data hostage in order to extract some sort of ransom out of them. And finally, their internal users can sometimes be bad actors. That can be either accidental or intentional. So these internal users may just be doing something they're not supposed to be, or possibly have too much access to the wrong things and delete things, or otherwise encrypt or destroy data, or they could be turned by other bad actors to act against you.
How do they get into your system?
Well, unfortunately, there's a variety of ways, and it's hard to protect against all of them, but good general hygiene for cybersecurity is your best bet. So some of the ways that they've gotten in the past are through malicious websites, which you might have seen before, which have suspicious links and attempt to download content or computer viruses to anywhere on your network. There are also many attacks that are done on public-facing websites. So if your company has a website or service that is for use by the public or your customers, that could be an attack vector for a bad actor to work against. There's also, of course, phishing, which is what we see a great deal of these days. That can come by way of email. They can be emails with links or attachments in them that download dangerous material or go to malicious websites, or even through what look like legitimate outreach through social media platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook. You also can get bad actors attacking via your vendors and customers. So if those customers happen to have an attack upon their system, bad actors may be able to hijack their system and use it to send out information that looks legitimate to you from your customers and vendors, think an invoice or a payment, that actually contains some sort of virus or a bad link. Finally, and this has actually happened, it's been proven that there's no good defense against certain low technology attempts such as dropped USB drives. Dropping a USB drive in a parking lot or somewhere outside of your business, or otherwise placing it such that an employee may bring it inside and just out of curiosity put it onto a computer in your network, is actually a valid attack vector and has been used in the past.
How can you protect yourself from hackers and ransomware?
Work with somebody that understands these threats and is tasked with keeping up with them as they evolve. This could be an internal resource team for IT, or it could be an external partner. But most importantly, work with somebody that understands this and helps keep you protected. In addition to that, it's always a good idea to have your data encrypted and at rest on PCs and servers, and also in transit when it is going across the web to any of your customers or vendors. So using BitLocker is a great way to do this, and it's built into many PCs these days because actually many bad actors will hijack this and use it to encrypt your PC. Well, if you're already using it and have that protection, then they wouldn't be able to do that. Perhaps most importantly, in addition to having an IT group that understands how to protect you from bad actors, is having offsite backup. That could be an offsite cloud storage for your on-prem servers, or it could be a second server on the cloud that's separate from your production system, and it gives you a place to go back to get valid data that is pre-attack in order to go and bring your systems back up from fresh. Also, make sure to keep browsers, firewalls, PCs, and servers, basically anything with an operating system or a program that is an attack vector, up to date. So constantly evolving threats are constantly being combated, and keeping those things up to date are one of the best ways to keep yourself protected. Also, make sure that your employees understand the types of emails that they should be receiving from your customers and vendors. That includes voicemail to email systems, delivery services like UPS and FedEx and USPS, and especially Microsoft Office products. There are many emails that come saying that Microsoft Office or some other program is going to expire, and they may even look on the surface legitimate. However, once you look at where these emails are actually originating from in the domain, you'll find that they are not legitimate, and in fact, they're probably some attempt to gain access to your system. Finally, have a disaster recovery plan. Know that this could happen to your company, that no company is too small, and that having a disaster recovery plan and knowing what you would do in the case of a ransomware or a virus wreaking havoc upon your network and your system, know what you would do.
How do you detect a hacker?
So detecting a hacker, unfortunately, sometimes is quite obvious. Quite often when a ransomware attack occurs, some sort of message or error will pop up on the computer that's been affected, and it will very blatantly tell you that your computer has been hacked and begins to demand and extract a ransom from you. There are other less obvious ways that you might detect that something is going on. Those could be unexpected pop-up messages, passwords that no longer work for websites that you used, contacts reporting that they're receiving emails or messages on social platforms from you that you know you didn't send, or noticing that your outbound emails are being blocked. This is usually because a bad actor has taken over and is spoofing your emails and sending out junk mail with your name attached to it, so that your company is becoming blacklisted on the web. So looking out for any of these telltale signs could be an indication that you've got a problem.
What should you do if you detect a bad actor?
First and foremost, alert your IT department or your IT services company. Let them know immediately that there is a problem. The best way to allow it to spread is to do nothing about it, so make sure that the relevant folks inside or outside of your company are aware so that you can begin to contain the problem. Next, immediately and as expediently as possible, quarantine the affected or even suspected devices. That means unplugging them from your network, turning off the Wi-Fi, heck, a laptop, pull the battery out of it and unplug it if necessary. Then from another PC, go about making sure that your bank accounts and other important logins haven't been compromised, and just as a preventative measure, change the passwords on your most important accounts first, working your way through your least important ones, but changing those account passwords can really go a long way to helping make sure that whoever is acting against you isn't able to find out data or take money from your business. Then ensure that any other equipment that is on the network that doesn't seem to be suspect is up to date. That could mean other servers, other PCs. Check and make sure browsers, operating systems, and security patches have been installed so that hopefully anything that may have spread will not spread too far. Finally, after you've stopped the spread, unfortunately, the only thing to do then is to restore the affected machines from your backed up data from your offsite backup service. This can unfortunately be painful, but quick and frequent backups can really help mitigate this, and sometimes you may only lose just a few hours or a day of work.
Modern events have reminded us the damage hackers can do to a business. Although gas prices have risen in certain areas of the country following the ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline, we can look at this incident as a learning experience. It is important to review and learn more about proper protocol to prevent hackers and those looking to use ransomware to hack into a company's sensitive information. If you have any further questions, you can contact PSI.
If you found this video to be helpful and would like to learn more, or if you'd like to learn about another specific software development related topic, let us know in the comments below or send us a message at info@psi-software.com.